Xewleer, the Mercenary King, here with a deck profile. Now this is a deck I got off of a fuzzy picture on Facebook. It's Madre Dios.
It's easy enough to just walk away, then coming to terms with what to say. This feeling inside I just can't bear. Wavering here, wavering there.
All props to Crash Hard. I'm sure I'm gonna mangle this deck. The combos, oh the combos. Just can't do it. Anyway. Starting out, 3 Prison Smile Koros. This is a super defensive build, by the way. And I like it for its defense. I'm still modifying a version of this that's kind of all my own, but, you know, I'm still figuring that part out. But when another of your Bermuda Triangle rearguards is returned to hand, you may return this to your hand as well. So basically, if you run, where is she? Vita. You return her to hand. All the other ones get returned to hand. That's how it works. I run 2 Darlings. Darling runs with the Duo engine in this build. Basically, you put this unit to the soul. If you have a Bermuda Triangle Vanguard, choose one of your units with Duo and return all the rearguards to hand. And for that, I actually run Peace and Thames, which are Counterblast 1, draw a card. If you have 3 or more in hand, reveal them. We'll reveal them. Ones you have in hand, if there's 3 or more, you get to unflip the cost you paid for it, which is pretty nice. But she's just there for the advantage engine as well as guard. One of these, in Harmony, it's Jump on the Water, a Met. This unit's Harmony, it gets Act Rearguard, put this unit to the soul, draw a card, choose one of your units to get +2. Okay, this is just a cycle for various cards. It could be anything. I run 7 Fundies, basically, to put into soul, give things +3k, as well as give me that 6/6 draw advantage that helps me win games through defense. Then we run 4 Duo Love Joker Xewleer. And it is auto rearguard, Counterblast 1, put this unit in the top of the deck. When your other unit is returned to hand from rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with Duo, pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for 1 card, same card name as that unit, as the unit returned to hand, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your deck, shuffle your deck. So interestingly enough, this is not limited to duos, it just requires a Duo Vanguard. We actually do spend some turns on a Duo Vanguard, even if we don't use it too much. And it does have some skills that really work with us. So a card like this really does good work, and it allows you to fill out your combos pretty well. For Happy Roots Sandies, this is just a heal trigger I use. I don't use the other one, so its skill is worthless, but basically it would allow you to flip out cards. I just don't like Sandy too much. It doesn't really rev my engines. 2 Shizukus. When this unit is placed and becomes in Harmony, look at top 5 for a grade 3 and then put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. 1 Shandy for those strides. Peace. Counterblast 1 when this unit is returned to your hand from rearguard. If you have a Vanguard with Duo, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. You may choose up to 3 cards with 3 copies of itself and reveal them, and then you can unflip a damage. Countercharge. 4 Kukris, and that's the main advantage engine. You do it early, and if you combo it up with the crit and Duo Eternal Sister Mirror, you can really get like 3 in hand almost automatically, which lets you draw 1, and then you draw 3 the next time you play it because you got skills. 4 Kukris, and before you ask, yes, it is searchable with Xewleer. As long as you have a Vanguard with that, with a Duo. 4 Magical Charm Charge Vitas. Auto Rearguard break 1, Soul Blast 1, return this unit to hand. At the beginning of each turn's main phase, yours or the opponent's, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 1 of your grade 1 or less cards from your hand, call to Rearguard, open Rearguard, and if you have a grade 4 grade Vanguard countercharge. It's there for the countercharge during your turn, but it's also there to set up for Koro and Leona when your opponent attacks. For Thames, it's the same thing as Peace. Counterblast 1 is return to hand from rearguard. If you have a Vanguard with Duo and the card name, pay the cost. If you do, draw a card and then choose up to 3 Duo Marine Chateau Thames from your hand, reveal them, and choose, if you reveal 3, choose a card from your damage zone, turn it face up. Then I run 3 Dios, Dream Team Dios. When this unit is returned to your hand from rearguard circle, if your Vanguard's in Legion, Soul Charge 1, choose a card from your damage zone, turn it face up. I don't use it for that skill very often, but I do use it for certain Vanguard turns, especially when I start going into an infinite loop. I actually go into an infinite loop earlier than like Mega Colony, which has a similar Legion format, but we'll not worry about that right now. So we have Dual Eternal Sister Mirror. You'll never use the first skill, which is basically to, if you broke road over Dual True Sister Mirror, you can re-ride as stood, and you can just keep break riding. I just don't do that, because I don't have the break ride in my deck. So act Vanguard once per turn, Counterblast, Soul Blast, choose one of your rearguards, return it to your hand, search your deck for 1 card, same card name, reveal it to your opponent, shuffle your hand, put it in your hand, shuffle deck, choose a card from your hand, put it into your soul. Basically, you combine it up with Xewleer and Peace, and then you search out 2 more pieces, put them into your hand, reveal them. All of a sudden, hey, that's 3 pieces in hand. You get a use piece of skill to draw a card for free. And that's what you do to prep up early game. Then you do some duo shenanigans, the classic, before you go into your real defensive ride, Dream Team Madre. Vanguard, Legion with... What happened to it? Huh? Oh, yeah. With her. For 20k, out of Vanguard, when the unit is returned from hand from rearguard at any point in the game, if this unit is in Legion, this unit gets plus 5k until end of turn. So basically, later in the game, you play this up, you return things from the deck, like say a piece, or whatever's on the field, and then you also return like as many Koros as you can, because you're playing those out as rearguards, and then you get plus 5k for every single one returned to hand. That's how it works. It also has a skill Act, Vanguard, Counterblast, Soul Blast, choose one of your rearguards, and return it to your hand. This ability cannot be used for the rest of that turn. So basically, infinite loop time. You ride it. You Legion, you send back 4 units. Next turn, you re-ride, Counterblast, Soul Blast, Legion again, re-ride. You want to make sure you're getting a combination of grade 3s and grade 2s in the deck as necessary. You have 7 of pieces of the Legion. If you mess it up, you'll mess it up for good. Unlike the Mega Colony Legion, which Soul Blasts 2, and then you can Legion 2 machining, and then you can Legion grade 2 and grade 3 that you rode previously back in. This is a lot trickier, and you can run out of Counterblast if you're not careful. Not much else for it, though. Like, the real thing is the plus 5k defense. To that end, I run 3 Leonas and 1 Citron. Citron is just to fix some bad field setups, but basically it's when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, choose up to 1 card, grade 1 or greater card from your hand, call it to rearguard, and if you called it, this unit gets plus 10k. So basically it prevents you from running like Koros, because they're reasonably intelligent. I would hope so. But it doesn't mean that you can't run Shizuku and get yourself into Legion by some means. Especially if you have a Vita that you didn't really bother to use because you didn't have to. But you should have done it. You know, that's just really all that is there. That's really all I really use it for. Also to set up for her, because I don't want to choose my Koros, I want to choose something other than Koros. So I basically play it, return something to hand. I have to play a card. If it's the same name, I get plus 5k. And so when I return, say, that Shizuku I put down, I also return the 3 Koros I happen to have. Where are they? That I happen to have on the field, giving my Vanguard plus 20k base, and then also putting in a 26k card. So it's 25k card. So basically it's plus 45k guard. I could run Sandy, but I just don't like using all the counterblasts. Especially since Vita kind of doesn't always work all the time. That's what you do. That's your defensive play. If Vita's not there, you definitely want to use Leona. So double jeopardy sort of thing. That's what I like though. GB8 Priscilla. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked. Return everything to discard a card. Return everything to hand. Play them out all 5, and they get plus 5k. So you return them to hand, so that gives you a great opportunity to use Peace if you're on a duo, or Shizuku's, or just anything that really suits your fancy, as well as set up for the next turn. Especially use Vita. 1 Sea Breeze, just in case. You honestly don't need this at all, but you never know when it would ruin somebody's day. 1 Anji, Counterblast 2, choose a face down card in your G-Zone, turn it face up. It's errata, you don't have to use the same card name. You can, if you return all cards, return as many cards as you want from your opponent in your own fields during the main phase. And if you return 7, you get a draw. If you return 5, it's a drive. If you return 5, it's a draw. And if you return nothing, it's a 3. You just get plus 5k for every single card returned. Just return everything unless it would actively screw you over for them to play it next turn. Rain Element Madu. This is just just in case for the Legion. I can actually choose to have her right here over Dream Team Dios because they're both counted as a grade 3, which means I can return a Madre to hand, so I can keep the combos going. For Olivia and for Loris, I do run enough Harmony cards for Loris to really work. However, Loris is kind of secondary to cards like this, and I could actually run one of her and one of her instead of 2 Lorises, but I do like the plus 5Ks I can give out and the crit triggers. Actually, I think I might replace 2 with this. I do like the plus 5Ks I can give out and the triggers. This card is Frederica. By the way, for Olivia's, Counterblast 1, choose a face down copy of itself, turn it face up, return up to 5 if they have different names. If you returned at least 3 of different names, you can put 2 in different rows, and he gets a crit if you're at, if you did that. That's what she does. I run 4. You need 4. Frederica is on hit. Flip it face down, turn it face up, so you can use like Sea Breeze as a stride thing. Just saying, it's a little bit complex about what you choose. But basically, choose one of your rearguards in Harmony, like say a Vita. Return it to hand. Choose 1 card from your hand. Call it to rearguard. Choose one of your rearguards until end of turn. It gets, if this unit is in Harmony, plus 5k. I basically use her to fix my field on the opponent's turn. And this one's pretty simple. It's Alfrina, Lucky Rise. Act Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, return, choose your rearguards, return them to hand. Sounds exactly what it does. It just gets out a lot of combos during your duo turn, and I do like using this to sort of fix a field of Shizuku's and Vitas if I haven't been able to get other combos out. So basically the main combo is to get her to work and to give out defense. However, it's actually quite difficult to handle all the combos as they are now. And even then, for some of the decks I've been like experimenting with, because like this is a pretty good deck. Like I appreciate this deck from Crash Art. It is a thing of art. But I don't like copying people's decks. And so I'm actually working on it with other builds that I'm very unsatisfied with right now to see if I can get different combos going. But the thing is that the duo combo is just too good not to get rid of. I mean, to knock it. It's too good, and I can't get rid of it. There we go. I stopped being so obtuse with it. You always want to start off with a Koro, but if you have, if you know you're going to get a bunch of duo stuff, you can definitely run Darling. Not much else to say about this deck other than it's very strong. However, it is one of those decks I consider to have a high ceiling, I guess I'd call it, in that it isn't always easy to play. Well, that's all that is to it. This is Xewleer, the Mercenary King. Like, comment, subscribe.
They call themselves Imagine Your Goddess. What a bunch of a-holes.
Trying to feel